What if your greatest ambitions aren't something you hunt, but something you grow? For decades, we've been told to attack our goals like a problem to be solved, a mountain to be conquered. We use language of force and mechanics. We smash our targets, crush our objectives, and hustle relentlessly. This is the industrial model of achievement, rigid, linear, and often utterly exhausting. It treats the delicate, living system of your life like a factory floor, and it's why so many of our best-laid plans wither on the vine. But in our digital archives, we found a different way, a framework that predates spreadsheets and productivity apps by millennia. It's a method practiced by masters of a different craft, one that requires patience, foresight, and a deep understanding of natural systems. I'm talking about the expert gardener. They don't force growth, they cultivate the conditions for it. And in their ancient, soil-stained wisdom, we find a powerful, forgotten framework for nurturing our own goals to fruition. A gardener's success is determined long before the first seed is planted. It begins with the soil. They test it, amend it, and enrich it. They remove the rocks and weeds that would choke out new life. In our lives, this soil is our mindset. Your goal isn't the seed. Your readiness for the goal is the seedbed. Before you chase a new ambition, you must ask, what are the rocks in my mindset? These are your limiting beliefs. The I'm not good enough. The I don't have time. The what if I fail? You must actively remove them. And what are the weeds? These are your distractions, the endless scroll, the meaningless obligations that consume your energy. Be ruthless in weeding them out. Then you enrich the soil with compost, knowledge, inspiration, and positive influences. Read the book, watch the documentary, talk to the mentor. Preparing your mind isn't a passive step, it is the most crucial act of cultivation. A master gardener doesn't just throw any seed into the ground. They choose plants suited to the climate, the season, and the soil they have so carefully prepared. They know a plant that thrives in shade will perish in relentless sun. Similarly, our goals must be aligned with the climate of our lives, our values, our strengths, and our current season of life. A goal that violates your core values or ignores the reality of your responsibilities is a seed planted in the wrong climate. It will struggle. Instead of setting 100 generic goals, select 1 or 2 heirloom seeds. These are the goals that feel authentic, that resonate with your purpose. Ask not just what do I want to achieve, but who do I want to become in the process? That is the seed that contains the blueprint for true transformation. The most overlooked secret of expert gardeners isn't about what they do. It's about what they don't do. A novice gardener is constantly digging up the seed to see if it's growing. They overwater, they over-fertilize, they fuss and fidget, driven by anxiety. This constant intervention is smothering. The master gardener, however, understands the power of patient trust. After preparing the soil and planting the seed, they embrace a period of active observation, not anxious meddling. They know that most of the growth happens underground, in the dark, where it cannot be seen. Your goals are the same. Once you've set your intention and taken those first actions, you must trust the process. Stop digging up your progress every 5 minutes to check for results. The frantic energy of doubt is toxic to growth. Nurture, observe, and let it take root. That is the art of patient cultivation. So you've prepared the soil and planted the right seed. Now comes the long, patient work of nurturing. This is not about massive, heroic efforts. It's about small, consistent actions. A little water, a little sunlight, day after day. A gardener doesn't flood the plant one day and then ignore it for a month. They show up consistently. What is the water for your goal? It's the 30 minutes of practice, the one page written, the single sales call made. What is the sunlight? It's reminding yourself of your why, revisiting your inspiration. And what about pruning? A gardener prunes away the dead branches so the plant can direct its energy to the healthy ones. We must learn to prune our commitments, to say no to things that divert energy from our most important growth. This daily, gentle consistency is what builds unstoppable momentum. Perhaps the most profound wisdom the gardener offers is the understanding of seasons. There are times for planting, times for vigorous growth, times for harvest, and crucially, times for dormancy. Our industrial culture preaches a perpetual summer, go, 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 produce, produce, produce. But nature knows this is unsustainable. It leads to burnout, to depleted soil. You must learn to recognize the seasons in your own life and work. There will be seasons of intense effort, like summer, but there must also be seasons of harvest and celebration, and seasons of winter, of rest, reflection, and letting the soil of your mind lie fallow to recover its nutrients. Pushing for summer-level growth in the dead of winter is a recipe for failure. Honoring these natural cycles is not weakness. It is the ultimate strategy for long-term sustainable success. And when you follow this framework, something magical happens. The goal ceases to be a distant, stressful objective. It becomes part of your life's landscape. The process of tending to it, of preparing, planting, nurturing, and adapting becomes as rewarding as the harvest itself. The achievement isn't a sudden explosion, but the quiet, inevitable result of careful cultivation. It's the joy of biting into a sun-warmed tomato that you guided from a tiny seed. So I invite you to put down the blueprints and the battle plans. Step out of the factory and into the garden. Look at your most cherished goal. What is one thing you can do today to prepare the soil? What small, authentic seed can you plant? How can you tend to it with gentle consistency? Forget chasing success. Start cultivating it. The harvest you reap will be more bountiful than you can imagine.